ooh, I'm only looking at the asshole.
I was going to say the asshole is
looking
huge.
at nothing else but that butthole. That is, I'm making eye contact with it.
All right, well, welcome to, it's tentatively called Please Clap. You know the Jeb Bush, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, iconically, yeah.
I resonate with that.
Yeah,
I think that's,
he should have been president.
Yeah. I think that he kind of got a bad rap with that. Like, it wasn't that big a deal. I thought it was kind of funny.
Yeah, I thought it was funny.
But
yeah.
he got meme talk. People say that's where he lost the presidency, but now it's a possible podcast.
Right.
So.
Yeah.
And it's weird because I felt like you would relate to this too. Like, there's like a team of people helping produce this. And I don't know, like they make sets for you at Comedy Central. They really, does that ever feel weird or awkward? Like I can't, like the way I could describe it is like, you know when people sing you happy birthday and it's like, it feels like that.
It's like you're helping me and my bullshit that I know.
There's like an email chain called Please Clap. I'm like, we don't gotta do that.
Yeah.
Just like,
no, I empathize.
Yeah,
I do.
You're crushing on TikTok.
Thank you.
I remember the first video you had do well. I've talked to you about this a million times, but your clown video, one of my favorites. And you sent me that after it did well, and you're like, do I have to be a clown for the rest of my life? Like, is this what I have to do? And I was like, no. Like, I don't know. I was basically like, people like you, not the clown.
Right.
Have you learned that now? Like, how do you feel since?
You know, in a way, and maybe this is the poetry of the whole thing, is like, don't you feel like you're still a clown? Like, I'm a clown without doing the makeup. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I'm like, I still am constantly like, oh, these videos do better if I like talk in the New York accent.
Yeah.
People love that. And then I feel like a piece of shit. Especially because like I had gone to VidCon back in June and I met people who only knew me online. And then they were shocked that I had this voice.
Right.
And it wasn't the accent. And I was like, oh no, like maybe I went too far.
Oh,
like maybe
but they weren't bad, right? They were like, oh.
No. But I was like trying to read what, like the fact that people say it. I'm like, are you a little disappointed?
Yeah. That's cooler to me though, is that you've like created this character that like people believe but then you could just create more because that's not the same as the clown, you know?
Right. Right.
Also, like, does it become hard to like post because you have a big following and it's like now you can't experiment as easily, or because that's what I feel. I'm like,
oh really? Well, I feel like you put like good effort into your videos is the thing. Like,
you don't put in effort?
No, I do, but like you have like a craft that you really like you edit it on Premiere and stuff.
But I used to be like, I used to do what you I think do, which is like I'd be in my apartment like, you guys gotta do this, and then I'd like delete that and be like, let's try that, and then I'd just be crazy in my apartment, and then I'd post it, I'd get like 20 views, one kid would be like, what the fuck is this? I'd be like, all right, delete, you know. But now it's like 3,000 views in the first hour, and I'm like, and you know, so it's a little more intimidating. That's why I'm a little more crafty about it, or whatever.
That makes sense. I mean, I to answer your question, I feel like I can still experiment because I made, from the time I started TikTok, I was always just like, okay, this has to be an easy thing that I do, because if I make it any more complicated than just like me screaming at my phone in public, I'll blow out, you know?
Right.
So I feel like I can still do that, but I definitely, when like a video flops, I'm like, this is the most embarrassing
I know,
thing.
it hurts.
It hurts so bad. I'm like, you idiot. Like,
yeah, but you're the only one
yourself.
saying that. That's the greatest thing, is it's like it's got it's got no views, so you're embarrassed, but it's like, well, that means nobody saw it, so why are you embarrassed, you know? Does that make sense?
No, I mean, it still has views. It's just like less views and like no likes. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So people saw it and they did not like it. That hurts. I wish no one saw it.
Yeah.
But people did.
But that's not, they don't watch it like, they're just more like, you know.
Right.
That's it. So.
Yeah, I guess, okay. Yeah, that does.
But
feel
I do still, there's a great Othello quote. I've never heard of a broken heart that was mended through the ears, you know? So I could say all this to you. Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Just whip. Do you have a good memory?
No. Certain things will stick that I really like that I always think about, but like, I think because I smoke a lot of weed, I feel like it's pretty bad at this point. Do you have a good memory?
I used to, but I think TikTok ruined it, honestly.
I'm bad with names. I'll see people that I've like met 1,000 times and I'll be like, wait a sec. Like,
yeah. That's a good common issue. I like forget sometimes how I got into a room.
Really? Oh yeah, yeah.
It feels like dementia or something. Like I'll be in the kitchen and I'll be like, when did I get here? You know, like I black out. I don't know if that's a.
I'll also, when I write a joke or something that I like, I'll always have a feeling of like, maybe I heard this somewhere and I'm forgetting it.
Yeah, I hate that.
That's an annoying thing. Do you get recognized on the street?
I do.
A lot?
Do you?
No, never.
Really?
Well, actually, the other day, once in like a long, but it was this. It was a girl that was waiting to see Kim Kardashian because we were outside a hotel. I was like with paparazzi for a day. It's a long, you'll see the video. But
can't wait.
This girl was like, she's had to be like 15, and she was like, Kim is my idol. I love her. And we're like, cool. She's like, you're paparazzi. We're like, yeah. And she's like, wait a sec. You look familiar. Do you do something? And I was like, nah. And the paparazzi guy who knows me was like, oh, he does TikTok. And then she was like, oh, okay. And then they looked at my TikTok like, oh, I've seen you. And then that was it. That's all they said. It wasn't even like, oh, you're funny or anything. She was like, oh, I've seen you. I was like, oh, okay.
Like, oh, okay.
The girl whose idol is Kim Kardashian doesn't like me. Oh, big whoop, I guess. But you get recognized a lot?
I'd say a lot, actually.
Really?
Almost every time I go out.
Whoa. Yeah. Do you like it?
At night. I mean, like at
like bars setting. And stuff?
Yeah, not like every time I leave my apartment.
Do you enjoy it?
Of course, it's so nice. Yeah. It's a really good feeling. Yeah.
But do you ever do they talk to you too long ever? Where you're like,
no, I actually feel like I talk too long because I get so excited that someone's actually coming up to me.
Oh, that's
And then
cool.
I usually feel like someone else, like the person who comes up to will end the conversation first.
Really?
Like I get a lot of like, oh my God, it was so nice meeting you. And I'm like, isn't I? Like,
yeah, it's supposed to be the other way around.
Like that's so embarrassing. But that kind of started happening when I had that TikTok blow up that was like, when life gets tough, do yourself a favor, go eat some ass.
Yeah.
And so people would come up and be like, oh, you're the eat ass girl.
Yeah. Nice.
Like, yeah.
And then you become, well, it's cool. You get enough to where now you're the TikTok girl, you know, at least there's enough things in their mind where it's like, and then eventually you'll be something else. What's the goal? What do you want to do?
I mean, I love what I do now. Like writing comedy sketches is like, that's all I want to do. For always and ever. And like yeah like I feel really good.
No, like
in
movie
the present.
writing or
no, I would do that too.
Yeah.
I guess I have ideas, but I'm never like, oh my God, this is a movie I really want to write, but I'm sure one day
you wrote some stuff at school that like I feel like short film scripts, never a feature, right?
I did write a feature. I did the study abroad feature thing, but that's you wouldn't have read that.
Oh, okay.
I don't think.
I forgot to do like an intro. This is Rose Kelso. You know her as Long Island Dirt on TikTok. Met her in NYU Tisch. We went to the same film school. One of my closest friends. I got you a gift, by the way.
Oh, say it ain't so.
So in theory, here's what it was supposed to be. Dirt from Long Island.
No, you didn't.
In a jar. Wait, so with a seed in it, a rose seed.
Really?
Wouldn't that have been cool? But now it's just a bag of dirt from Queens.
So there's no rose seed in it?
No,
you got a lot of dirt too.
Emily did that for me. Do you? So we have we're both pretty anxious people.
Yeah. Break it down.
Sometimes we'll text each other like about, is this going to get me canceled?
Right.
Usually never things that. But hate. Do you get hate at all? How does that?
Yeah, in varying forms. I do.
I feel like you get it more on the Comedy Central page, just because there's always hate on that page for anybody.
It's a bad demo. It's not a great demographic, I have to say. But those are also people who they're so depressed or something. I don't know. They're so angry. And I don't know what it's like to be in their shoes of seeing something that's maybe I do. I guess I kind of get it. Have you ever seen something that people are laughing at and you're not laughing and you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah, but I would never tell them. I would just kind of move on.
Right.
Sometimes I'll look to see if there's comments not enjoying it. And I'll be like, cool, I'm not the only one.
Right.
But I won't even like the comment because I'm like, why?
No paper trail. Yeah.
That, and I'm like, why even I'm not about the net. I would never want to make the person feel bad, you know,
right.
or
no, of course
the
not.
only so there's never really a reason to me to tell them. It's just move on, you know.
Right. So it's now imagine not having that filter. That's it's like a person who I don't know. They're like missing
the film. Yeah.
growth or something.
Do you get hate DMs?
Actually not, and I'm sad about it. I was always hoping that I would get like a death threat or something.
Because people like to be performative in it. Once it's personal, they're like feel weird, I bet.
I got that. You saw that I got that really nasty hate DM once, and then I was like, "Hey man, like I'm sorry you feel this way." And then he was really nice.
Yeah.
He was like, "Oh, I guess you're right." Like, I'm so sorry. Like, you're cool.
And then isn't it weird? And then you're like, damn, now I like this guy. I liked him more than if he had not said anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird too. Like, it used to be hate mail. Now it's hate DMs.
Yeah.
And that's the weird thing about the internet is it's like I said to you once, it's like there's people that comment on Beatles videos like, these guys suck.
Right.
And it's like you're never going to please everybody. Like, and it used to be the newspaper whereas was where you heard people's opinions, but now everybody in the world could give their opinion on something. So you have to be ready for that, where it's like if you post a video, there is going to be people that are like,
yeah, it's true. It's true. I think it's people who kind of forget the idea of having taste in a way, because it's like you could love George Carlin and hate Sarah Silverman, or love Lewis Black, and I don't know.
Yeah.
Like no two are the same.
Yeah.
Like, it's so bizarre. But yeah, I've gotten like mostly hate from white men for like being a woman in comedy, which is predictable.
So wait, you ready? I have
okay,
woman in comedy as a note, as a bullet point. Tell me what it's like.
Being a woman in
hit me. What? Okay, I'm sure it's. Well, no, I can't be like. I'm sure it's the same thing. I'm sure there's no hiccups there, but
yeah.
Tell me.
I mean, like it's I don't know. I don't think about it all that often. It's just when you get the hate comments that are like women aren't funny.
Yeah.
It's you do remember, you're like, oh, I'm presenting a way that I could never please this person or like this group of people just because they like know that I'm something that they don't like, you know?
Yeah, you could get them though. There's going to be a time. They're just like, I bet you even if you made them laugh, they'd still be like, psst.
Yeah.
Wow, woman made me laugh. That's not going to happen again.
I mean, I get that too. And there are a bunch of women who have the same experience. That's like, I don't know. It's weird.
Do women ever comment that?
Actually, yes. There was that one. I made a video about it. There was this one girl on the 1:37 p.m. video, like that thing that you made about me. This girl was like, women aren't funny. It's so sad. And I was like, bitch. Sorry. Am I misogynistic for that? Oh, that's your internal misogyny.
You could call her a bitch, yeah.
Yeah, but I was just like, girl, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean women aren't? You're a woman. Like, you are a woman. And
she's like, I'm not funny at all.
yeah, I'm like, do we gotta break this down? Like, oh, it was so sad. But a lot of that'll go away when people realize I'm a Jew, and then they're like,
well, Jews are funny, yeah. So it cancels out.
No, they're like, you're controlling the media, and like,
okay.
Yeah. So
I thought it was gonna be a redeeming thing about them.
No.
Damn.
Rarely, but I mean, it's all good.
I feel like you're even better than me with that stuff, where it's like it takes one comment for me to be like, and it makes me mad. I'm like, I want to fight this guy, you know, or like,
oh, me too. Yeah.
Oh, really? Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
yeah.
I got to stop checking notifications in the morning because I'll wake up and I'll see something like, cringe, this guy's an idiot, and I'll be like, it ruins my day. Like, you ever
Your whole day?
Sometimes I'll be thinking about, because what I'll do is I'll comment, be like, I'll try and think of something for like 20 minutes, I'll send it, and then for like the next hour I'll refresh, like, did he answer yet? I'm like, I know.
Why don't you just delete and block? Look at her body.
I know. You're like hugging myself.
Like,
delete and block. I know. I got to do that more.
just do that. For some reason, there's like a stigma to doing that. And I'm like, no. Like, if you're going to come to my page and like, like if you told me this shit to my face, I would delete, you know?
Yeah,
like, it's
I wouldn't
so
continue
weird.
talking to you.
Yeah. So delete and block.
If you were in my house, I'd ask you to leave.
Yeah,
so.
I'd literally ask you to leave. It's so bizarre.
How do you write your songs, Rose?
I always start with the joke, if that makes sense. So it's like songs have a punchline when you're writing a comedy song. And that's the most important part. Otherwise, you don't really have a joke, kind of. So I always have to find that. And then usually I work backwards in the sense that's like, okay, punchline, and then usually I'll just brainstorm like funny phrases that I want to put in it. And if I have really good jokes, then I build the rhymes around the jokes. And then I'll usually know what style of music I want it to be, like bossa nova. And then, so the music kind of comes last. I always feel like I can't do what you do. Like Mike and Stool stand up, just.
You could. You've done it, I feel like.
I shit my pants every time.
Well, that's because you just haven't done it enough, you know? Like, you don't do that. You were probably nervous the first time you did the song stuff, right?
Not I mean, like, maybe, but it's. I'm trying to figure out how to say this. It's like. I don't think, obviously, like musical comedy, I don't think it's a crutch at all. But when you go up on stage and you play a song, like people have to be along for the ride and they clap after. Yeah. No matter what.
Yeah.
When you're just doing stand up.
Yeah, they gotta laugh.
Yeah. Like there's no gratification if you're not getting it. You know?
But like take it from somebody that was very scared to do open mics freshman year and would like get drunk or just not show up. Like, now, I mean, shows still make me nervous, but for the most part, open mics, I'm like, whatever. Like, it doesn't really. Right. You get so used to it, like, and plus, there's nobody ever is sitting there. Like, it's the same way how people just scroll away from your shitty TikTok. If you, not that your TikTok was shitty, but like in your mind, it's not. They're not like watching you. Like, they're just like, all right, I'm bored. That's like the worst case. Unless you're like a guy that's saying like horrendous things, which you'll see, obviously. But all right, cool. So I had this game. Oh my God. Okay, I wanted this to be way cooler, but it's going to be not cool.
Love.
So we're going to try this.
Can't wait.
So basically, this is the game. How well do you think you know your fans?
Oh my God.
So I hired one actor and 2 real fans.
Oh my God.
To say they're your fans.
Okay.
You're going to have to guess who's who.
Hey, Rose. Just wanted to say thank you so much for your content and just your personality in general. You are such a breath of fresh air in, the world that we live in today, and your content, I look forward to seeing your videos anytime you post a new one or anything, and just thank you so much for just being so freaking funny.
Well, that might be the actor. That might be all a lie.
I appreciate you, and I love you so much. So.
There's 2 more. Don't guess yet.
Okay. I love this game.
Oh my God, I hate Long Island. But Long Island Dads. Ooh, I'm such a fan. Ooh, you're amazing.
Okay, love. Obsessed.
Hey Rose, Brent here. I just want to say what a massive fan I am. I came across your page a while ago, forever ago. And I think you're fucking hilarious. Every time I see your videos, they have me dying laughing. But you have a ton of talent. You're great at what you do. That song you wrote had me literally on the floor laughing. I've not laughed that hard in such a long time. And it's kind of funny, actually, because my grandpa fought in Korea, and my girlfriend's Korean, and you know the punchline. You wrote it. Cool. Have a good one. Keep doing what you're doing. You're awesome.
So which one was the actor?
I don't know. They all feel really real, but also so nice that I can't believe it. I feel like the first woman was definitely real. That spoke to my soul. If she's an actor, she's a really good one.
Okay.
The second woman looks familiar.
Okay.
I don't know why. And then I feel like the third guy is real. I fly in Virginia Beach.
What I did was I put it on Backstage, the casting call, worldwide. So whoever the actor is could be from anywhere, technically.
And that song you wrote. Okay, I think the second woman's the actor.
The I Hate Long Island Dirt girl? Yeah. Or I Hate Long Island but love Long Island Dirt?
Yeah.
You were correct.
Yes, okay. Heck yeah. Wow.
So I wanted to share with you. So I did like a bunch of submissions and I messaged all these people, and this guy was my favorite response. He applied, so I said, hey, can you send us a video just doing this? And he said, next. And I said, is that a yes or a no? He said, it's a no, dude. And then I was like, okay. And he goes, I don't mean it in a rude way, but at this point, I've booked so many smaller gigs and I'm trying to find something that basically pushes me into stardom. I was like, all right, good luck with that attitude, buddy.
Yeah. Wow.
The other game I wanted to play, but nobody actually did it. I sent it out to like 10 people. Was I sent my TikTok and yours, and I said do impressions of us, and we'll react to them.
Yeah.
And nobody did it.
We're not famous enough yet.
No, they did not care. They did not care at all.
They were like, I'm not going to do this bullshit.
Yeah, I know.
But I like the idea. It's really good.
Yeah, all right,
Get
cool.
people on here.
What?
Get people on here.
Oh, I'd love to get people on
Yeah, then
here.
people will do it.
Would you have been a jester in the Renaissance?
I think I would have been killed.
Wow. Wow.
Sorry. We can't do that.
That's what, you know what Jamie said? He said, I'm Jewish, so I would have been beheaded.
Yeah,
So
I absolutely would have been killed.
Don't worry, we can bleep
Like,
that, and people will have to guess what you said.
Yeah, I probably would have tried to be a jester if I was a woman in the Renaissance times.
There was some female jesters.
Really?
You could have been a jester.
Yeah. I guess in my head, a jester was like, I imagine like Billy Crystal with a funny little hat on.
Yeah.
He was like writing 10 minutes and he's like, hey, what do you feel about balls?
But 10 minutes, the thing is, you would have just, I feel like you just had to be a hang to the king. Like, because 10 minutes would have been like, all right, well,
yeah.
come back in an hour. I'm going to be bored again.
Yeah, it's like watching TV. I wonder if there was like a Renaissance version of Seinfeld. With like, there's like a guy with a stand-up bass. He's like,
Or like a harp version. Yeah.
like,
okay. All right. This you might want to not talk about, so you can tell me.
Okay.
So, first, most famous follower that you have.
most famous follower that I have, maybe Rachel Bloom
I don't know who that is.
from
No, but that's sick. That's awesome. That's really cool.
Crazy Ex-Girlfriend. She was the creator of Crazy Ex-Girlfriend.
I don't know what that is.
So it's a musical show.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So I like shit my pants when she followed me. I was like, no way.
So a Jonas brother followed and unfollowed you.
Yeah, Joe Jonas followed me for 4 days.
No.
And then he unfollowed me and I have no idea why. I was so embarrassed.
Were you excited when he followed you?
Yes, I was. My roommate is the biggest fan in the world. Like, she has a nameplate necklace that says Mrs. Joe Jonas 24, which is her email. Like, biggest Jonas Brothers fan. And we were scheming. We were so excited. It was like, oh my God, like Joe Jonas knows who I am. Like, maybe like he'll see something. And Nicole, like, you could say hi. I don't know, like whatever. And then the next time I checked, like, you know how on TikTok it says follow back?
Yeah.
I saw the follow back button. I let it sit for a few days. And then, for 1 day. I let it sit for 1 day. Then I followed him back and we became friends. And then 2 days later, he wasn't following me. And then I realized, because I went through... This is so bad. If he sees this, I'm going to kill myself.
I'm sure he'd laugh.
Yeah, I hope. I went through his follower list and saw everyone who was following him. And then I went through their following list to see if they were following him. And they don't follow him back. And I wonder if it got too close.
Nah.
The only other thing I could think is that he unfollowed me after I made my Tucker Carlson impression.
Oh, and he was like, this is too political?
Yeah, it was probably like too much. I was so pissed because I did make that. And then I was like, I wonder if Joe liked it. And then...
That's the worst. Yeah. That's the hard part. Is like I've forgotten who's followed me at this point. Luckily, that's so annoying.
I know.
Oh my God,
so sad.
I could. I was gonna ask you. This is a dual question.
Yeah.
Worst you've ever bombed, and was it that time that they were offended by you? That part of the show.
I had done a show in Brooklyn at a vaudeville show, and the set. Yeah, I know. Yeah, and it was a fun show, but. Like, for some reason, this joke that I tell all the time, and it's a clean joke. It like pokes a little fun at the fact that Sam Elliott like hated Power of the Dog, and had said a bunch of homophobic stuff about it. Mm-hmm. So I come up as Sam Elliott and I say, "You queers are making too many movies." I feel like I hope that like stands on its own. Like we don't.
No, I think you're playing a character. Like,
yeah.
I mean, there's always going to be people that don't get jokes or don't like dark jokes, and I think you just have to accept that because
right.
I've been watching Family Guy, old school Family Guy, and like, I mean, they say some wild shit. Like, but I think it's just like knowing that like there's going to be an audience that doesn't get it or doesn't understand that you're making fun of the guy.
Right.
Like,
yeah. That it was poking fun at him, and also I'm queer, so I kind of was like, I thought I was like. Speaking to my people kind of thing. Yeah. And then I say that and the whole room went silent and I was like, what?
Yeah.
And then it got better because the song that comes after that is very obviously
Makes them realize,
yeah. But that was the one time I felt air get sucked out of the room, and I was
It
so
hurts.
surprised.
But
Yeah,
then it's also like, sometimes when you don't get the laugh, like what you think is the air being sucked out of the room is just like you're projecting your own. Like they might have just been like waiting, and then like they just didn't laugh for whatever reason, but it doesn't necessarily mean they were like, what?
yeah, right. But I would say maybe the worst I ever bombed was I did a 5-minute open mic, and my entire 5-minute set was about how much I hate Arizona. Which just sounded like a rant. Like I've watched it back since, and I was like, you were just mad on stage.
That's what so many people do, though.
Yeah.
Like last night, there was some lady like she performed in a mask, and the entire set was her like just like it was politically like it was all political anger, and it was like that's cool, but like there was no comedic twist at all.
Right.
And I'm like, and again, like you got to go up and
Girly.
figure it out. And I didn't
Yeah.
blame her. No, I'm not like upset by it, but I'm just like that sort of stuff is boring to me.
Right.
I don't know, just like be political
Yeah,
on
you
Twitter.
need
or
to
something.
joke it up. Yeah.
Joke it up though.
Yeah.
In a year from now, she might fucking come out mask odds, whipping out zingers about Roe
This
v.
is her
Wade, and I'll
origin
be like, "This
story.
is hilarious," and it makes good points.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. I think we bombed all the time at the improv class that we did.
Oh, we took an improv class together.
Yeah, I think we should dive into that.
Yeah, we would always
was-
like lead the class. Like, oh my god!
I don't think we're cut out for this.
there was the
Like,
one girl who was like kind of good at first, and she was
Yeah.
like mean to everybody.
right.
She was like, "I hate men," but she'd also hit on me, and it was kind of weird.
Right.
She'd be like, She's like, "I love your long hair," and I cut it once. She's like, "Oh my god!" And I was like, "You're objectifying me. Why are you commenting on my looks?
Right,
You're
right.
hating on men." But then I don't know. But-
yeah, cuts deep.
Go off.
Yeah.
yeah, I know.
Go off, kid.
I'm really cultivating an incel environment here, but the improv class was cool. We that was sick.
Was it sick? I hated it. I hated all 8 weeks of that class.
It's a lot of like, yeah.
I didn't like a single
I don't
class.
think we got any laughs, right? But nobody
No.
really did.
No, it was. I think the issue with it, without naming what the place was, the issue with it was that they made improv so formulaic in this crazy way, and our teacher, I remember, kept like stopping the scenes if we didn't get the game in the first two sentences.
Yeah.
And I like sometimes that's important, but every time I've seen improv since that class, which is like too many times to count, too many
Yeah.
times. I like should not be going that much.
Yeah.
Rarely do people come out with a premise and just say like, "This is the funny thing," and
Yeah,
then
you gotta, like-
everyone's gonna be funny.
Right.
Like I actually enjoy those organic scenes where like it's two people digging, and then they're like, "We're on the moon."
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know?
You got to kind of like find it, I guess.
Right.
I think you could have just read the book, honestly, because there is cool things. Like one of the things I like think about a lot is like, if this is true, this must also be true. So it
Right.
was like, let's do a wedding theme, and it's like, oh, if it's a witch's wedding, and then it's like, all right, so what would be at a witch's wedding, and that kind of like helps you build out premises, I guess. But yeah, it was a lot of just like waiting in chairs in the back of a room, and then it's like, all right, go up there and
Just anxious the whole time.
oh
Yeah.
my god, yeah.
sweating in
She's
the
like, who
back,
wants?
yeah.
If you had to like go, oh my god,
Yeah, no one wanted to go up.
No.
Like that's a sign that it's an improv class.
Yeah.
You know, like it's a bunch of adults in a room playing pretend.
yeah,
And
yeah.
it felt like getting sent to the gulag or something.
Yeah.
It was so weird. Yeah.
Yeah, and it was expensive to do that class
Yeah,
as well. It was very
was
expensive.
expensive.
While I get my phone ready for something else, do you have any celebrity crushes?
Celebrity crushes. Unfortunately, I'm every crush I have is now like 80 years old because I have such a thing for people from the 70s. But also huge crush on Laura Prepon, who was Donna in that 70s show.
Oh, yep.
So hot. And then Barry Gibb on the other side of the
I
spectrum
don't know who that is.
from the Bee Gees.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Also
It's,
80
yeah.
or something now.
Yeah, he's probably 80, living in Miami Beach.
So let me ask you this: does that star power, like, I don't know how to ask this.
Yeah, what are you gonna?
If he hit on you at a bar, would you go home with him?
And he's 80 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like he'd get tired. I feel like we'd. If he was like, you want to come home with me, love? I feel like we'd go to his Miami Beach pad. He'd tell me a long-winded story, and then he'd go, go off to bed. Like,
yeah.
And
I hope that's what I'm like as an old man. Yeah.
Yeah, I hope so too.
I hope libido dies down for.
Yeah. I hope you're not picking up 25.
Yeah, yeah.
Or I hope you are. I don't know. I hope you have game your whole
When
life.
I'm 80?
Yeah.
Yeah. What does your day-to-day
cool.
at Comedy Central look like?
It's almost like I have to kind of think of Comedy Central as like a cyclical schedule. So like there are like stretches of time where it's really light, and that's when I'm like coming up with ideas and pitching them and like seeing what's the next thing I'm going to make. And then there are times that are really heavy, and like right now is one of those times because we're about to have a shoot week next week, and that's like all pre-production. And
are you the star of this shoot week? Like,
no. We always like work with a different influencer. It's
okay,
like
so you
poor
don't
man's
always have to
SNL.
be on camera.
Yeah, no, I don't always have to be, but
'Cause-
I usually write stuff that puts me in it.
Yeah, you're like, and then Rose comes in.
and saves the day, and everyone thinks she's hot.
Yeah, and then the comments are like, Comedy Central sucks now.
Yeah.
Which they write before watching. I know that's the case, because you could go literally any of the videos. It's like, Comedy Central used to be. It's like, dude, it's not.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, like SNL even, they're like, oh, SNL used to be way better. It's like, if you watch a full season of SNL at any given year, there's going to be tons of shitty jokes.
Yeah.
You just remember the good stuff.
Right.
Nobody still talks about the bad sketches because they're boring or they just don't hit, you know?
Right. The people are also forgetting that like cable TV doesn't exist anymore. And I do feel like SNL benefited so much from like that was the thing that people would do in the suburbs, was like go home, and then you stayed up late and watched SNL, and it was a whole phenomenon.
Yeah.
But now you can only watch it in segments on YouTube. So
yeah, and then if you are watching it live, it's
Yeah.
like you also have your phone, so you're like reading the newspaper or
Right.
the whatever, the Twitter. And then you're like seeing what people are saying you ever go to recent tweets for like an event and then just see what people are saying as
I
they
actually
come?
never do that. No.
Oh, okay.
But fascinating.
It's a good way to like have mixed feelings. Like when when the Kendrick Lamar album came out, I'm such an asshole
Yeah.
because I let people. I'm like, let's see what people are saying, and it's like, this album's trash. I'm like, oh, I guess it sucks.
Yeah.
And then the
No, I'm
next
a
tweet's-
follower, not a
Yeah,
reader.
and then the
Yeah,
next
yeah.
comment's like, greatest album ever. I'm like, it's the greatest one yet. Like, and so I do let sometimes people's opinions dictate what I think. I got you another gift.
Oh no.
I survived. Please clap.
Oh my god. Yay. Can I put it on?
Yeah,
Okay,
sure.
okay. Wait, I'm so excited.
You better survive. There's the ending frame is you. Yeah, it's my handwriting.
Yeah.
We should sell these, but then I guess it doesn't make sense because you sur. Yep. Thank you, Rose.
I almost sat on the mic. Best seat in the house.
Okay,
It's the funniest joke I told in the last hour and a half.
dude, believe me, this pod is so hard. Like, just like it's tough. It's tough because Jamie was here. I was like, I'm gonna crack some jokes, and then it's just the whole time I'm like, yeah, cool. All right,
Yeah.
so tell me
Next.
about this.
Yeah, I feel like we're warmed up now, though. Like now we could get into the.
Yeah, then it's like, and then it's gonna, but then I've gone through all the notes, so it's like, well, now we gotta.
But let's rate. What
Let's
are we
rate
doing?
some dogs. Bring it
rate
in, Emily.
Dogs. Like actual dogs?
I had a video idea that it was like the same setup. We bring in a bunch of cute piggies, like little baby pigs, and it would be like a BuzzFeed idea.
Yeah.
And then,
Pick one to kill.
no,
Oh, oh, sorry.
no.
my
So
bad.
the idea was have a bunch of people pet baby pigs.
Yeah.
And then bring the pigs out. Starve the people beforehand. Bring the pigs out.
Right.
And then bring in like a bunch of bacon. It'd be like, will you eat this now? So you feel
That's fun. I love that.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Okay, rate this dog. A cute dog. I'd give that like a 7 though.
I was gonna say 7 out of 10. Yeah.
Because I wouldn't want to pet this dog. It's not fun to pet. It's
It
like
just reminds me of like a West Elm carpet.
It's like petting rope.
Yeah, it's like petting rope for sure. And I just know, look, I'm a cat person. Like we're doing this, and
What?
I'm such a cat person.
You read to me as a dog person.
A lot of people say that, and also people think I'm a Leo, but
Well, I don't know what that is, but I
don't
know
worry
what a
about it.
Leo. I don't.
You're
I
a
just,
Scorpio, right? 24th? Are you October 24th?
Whoa.
Yeah.
When is your birthday?
Yeah, when's my birthday, Sean?
It's June 13th.
July 2nd.
Fucking.
Yeah.
All right, let's rate
All right.
another dog. Okay, there's a foot behind this one.
Oh, the foot, 10 out of 10. The dog, put it down.
I'd give him a 6.
Really?
5. I'm not a big small dog guy.
He's like crusty.
This is closer to a cat than the last dog, though.
Yeah. But it's like if you're a cat person, you like big dogs, I think. And little crusty fucking dog. I just know that dog smells like
Yeah,
bad
you piss
breath.
me off. I feel like these dogs are more
Yeah,
selfish
piss
than
me
bigger
off.
dogs
yeah.
because they're more like anxious about the world. Oh, that is a.
That dog just looks like skin. Like I feel like you pet that dog and it feels like you're petting chicken at the grocery store.
Just like a human, yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
I feel like the bark is like
damn, it's hard
Bork.
rate dogs because like I love him. I love him with all my
You
heart.
love him?
I've just seen him now. I love him, but I still want to give him a 3 out of 10. As
yeah,
far
I was
as
gonna say
dogs
3
go.
out of 10.
Oh, this is a 8.
Yeah, I like the jacket.
You have bad taste in dogs.
these are not my oh 10 out of 10 10 out of 10 I love this one. That one's good. I love that one.
I'd give him a 4. I'd give him a 4.
Why
Because I like big dogs that you could cuddle, you know?
yeah, but that's a little dog you can cuddle. Except my one fear with this dog is that if I owned it I would roll over on it in my sleep.
Yeah.
Like I'd crush it.
Yeah.
So 9 out of 10. I'll knock it down.
Okay, yeah. 9 out of 10 because he
Easy
could
to kill.
easily be crushed.
Yeah. What the fuck?
I'm seeing a
got, like,
6
human
or a
eyes.
7. Yeah, the ears are cool. Not a whole lot going on with the face.
Yeah, just like I don't know. Yeah, not a hot dog. You know, like I wouldn't fuck that dog.
yeah.
Sorry.
Would not have sex with this dog.
yeah.
That wait, what? It looks like it should be cute, but it's
There's something off. Yeah, I don't like the whites of its eyes.
smiles weird.
Yeah.
What is this? Look at how its leg. Look, its legs are extended
I think that's a 1
backwards.
out of 10. It's like it could be a fennec fox, and it's a dog.
Yeah, but
It's
he'd
not.
make me smile when he walked in a room. His ears are.
That's a corgi. I just know how this dog chews. You know, like that's what I don't like about dogs. Yeah, they're like.
This is the
Good dog.
American dream dog.
That's
this
American Dream Dog for sure.
This would be a 10, but his forehead's weird. His
8 out of
eyes
10.
aren't as cute as they could be. I'd give this guy an 8 to 9 out of 10.
Every time I meet a golden retriever, I'm overwhelmed by the smell. This is why I don't like dogs. Ooh, I'm only looking at the asshole.
I was gonna say the asshole
I'm
is
looking at
huge.
nothing else but that butthole. That is. I'm making
No.
eye contact with it. Yeah.
Here,
me
wait.
too.
All right, I'll touch the butt.
That makes it so much worse. Have you seen those butt plugs for cats that are?
Why? Who?
Yeah, I guess it's for dogs too, but it's a jewel on the end. I think you put it on the tail. You wrap it around the end of the base of the tail. Yeah, it's not a butt plug.
Have you seen the anal beads for dogs?
The Twinkle Tush is essentially a little necklace that you can wrap around the base of your cat's tail that has a little jewel that hangs off of it to cover your cat's butthole, and they hyphenated butthole. It's terrible.
We are such assholes as humans. Like, not only do we have these animals in our house and like
This
own them.
poor cat too.
Yeah, we're like, well, if you could plug that one's hole, what would you rate it?
10 out of 10. They're also the least smelly, and they snore, which I love because they can't fucking breathe because they've been inbred so many times. So sad. So like,
That was some stand-up comedian the other day. She was just real. It wasn't jokes. It was just like, if you buy dogs, you're an asshole. Like, it's like, come on.
Yeah.
Like, can you do this out on a sidewalk with a megaphone and
yeah,
not?
I feel like that's the open mic you went to. I feel like you weren't actually at an open mic.
Yeah. I just had a protest.
Yeah.
Like, guys,
These
come on.
suck.
We get it. Yes.
Add jokes.
Yeah. Yes, pro-choice. I get it, but could you tell some jokes?
Yeah. Write a joke. God, that's funny. Yeah, 8 out of 10.
Can I ask you a comedy question?
Yes.
So, one of the best interviews ever done is Larry King and Cat Williams.
Oh my God, I haven't
when he
seen
moved
it.
to like his YouTube show, Larry King, and Cat Williams has a moment in there where he's talking about when he fell in love with funny.
Oh.
And it's like this very romanticized thing about how he was like, I fell in love with it and I've been in love with it ever since. Do you have a memory like that comes to mind?
That's such a good question.
Yeah, just show me up on my own pod, Grant, with the good questions.
Omnipotent. Once again. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I have my immediate thing that came to mind. I mean, since I was a kid, I've always loved comedy, was always like a funny kid, whatever. That's like Tom Lear and everything. But my big moment that I was like, oh my God, this is all I want to do ever, is back in 2008 when the recession hit. Yeah. I was like, that's funny. No, my dad, this is a little sad story, but my dad lost his job because of the recession. Yeah, hit the button. Wah, wah. But yeah, he lost his job. And at that time, like, a lot of people were losing their jobs, and it was really scary because people were like, oh, fuck, this is real. And like, now we don't know how we're going to like support our families, you know? And so that day came for us, and my parents were like trying to keep it a secret kind of, but like I knew something was wrong. Like I got off the school bus and my dad was standing outside in my front yard, and he never came home that early. And I was like, and he looked sad. He was like in a disheveled suit with like his tie over his shoulder. I was like, what is going on? It's like Dilbert, like foreclosed Dilbert.
Like a Judd Apatow movie or something.
I was like, oh man. And they had told me right before I went to swim practice. I was so sad all of swim practice. I was like, oh, what are we going to do? Like, my parents are so scared. I'm so scared, everything. And then I came home. We had like a very quiet dinner. I went up into my room, and then I heard my parents laughing, and I went downstairs and they were watching SNL. Oh, it was so cute. And I watched it with them, and it was like a moment that always stuck with me because I was like, oh my God, like, even when shit gets so hard, like, you can always laugh, you know? Like, there's always something to make you laugh.
They were laughing in SNL, huh?
Yeah.
That's how I know that story is fabricated. No, imagine all that story was all true, but then you went down and they're just sitting there like, the show used to be better.
Yeah, they're still pissed. It's like the worst day ever. That's so funny. But yeah, I think that was really my moment because I think I saw how powerful comedy could be. Or it was like, oh wow, like that's what it's for.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I was not expecting you to have a good answer for that.
Yeah.
Not because of you. Like, it's a good question, but I would not have expected that like specific moment.
Yeah. That's a big one for me. Thank you for that question. That's a great question. That's so sweet.
Inspirations. Is Bo Burnham an inspiration? I know that he's like the closest musical style or comedy style to you.
Right. Actually, no. Believe it or not. I only got into Bo Burnham kind of recently. Like, I never grew up on his stuff. But like my biggest inspirations, I guess comedically, that was like Weird Al and Tom Lear. And Gilda Radner has this song that I'm so pissed that I didn't write called Let's Talk Dirty to the Animals. Let's Talk Dirty to the Animals. It's so good. And it was things like that. Like, I grew up on that. And Monty Python's sick. I love Look on the Bright Side of Life. Yeah. Whenever I'm anxious or sad or anything, that song makes me feel great. Yeah. Those were and like Bo Burnham's amazing, but for me it's like I got into him late because like I was already doing musical comedy, and then I was like, oh, I should watch Bo.
Yeah. Did you watch Inside?
No, I didn't actually.
It's long. It's got some really good moments, and the music's cool. But one thing that Bo Burnham, the thing that's interesting to me about him is he always has like songs or like jokes about, he's like, I just want to be funny. I just want to be fun. Is this funny? And I'm like, it seems like you want to be Da Vinci. Like, he's just like, so his like filmmaking and all this. I'm like, it seems like you want to be much more than funny, which I think is sick. But I don't know. And he's also very sad and makes me feel bad. Like, that Inside is like very...
That's always funny.
Yeah. He's good at making it funny, but there's times where I'm like, Jesus Christ, yeah. Like, there's a scene where he's like watching himself, like, and well, you would relate to this. It's like his first videos on YouTube. He's super young. He's like watching it projected. And it's like, you know, he's like watching it either cringing or like, and I'm like, it's like projected big on a screen. He's in a room sitting dark. And I'm like, it's not that big a deal, man. But at the same time, I get that the point is that that's what it feels like, where it's like, what have I done? Like, what is this? It's like, dude, it's a video on YouTube. Who cares?
Yeah, right.
But I think maybe that's his point. I don't know. Nothing salacious going on. Nothing you could hit us with that's happened.
Salacious. Oh, I had a bad shrooms trip.
Oh, tell me.
Yeah, that happened. Ooh, yeah. I wanted to make a video about it on TikTok because I want to be like, okay, everyone, let's grow up. I'm done fetishizing drugs. How do you fucking say that? Fetishizing.
Yeah.
Fetishizing. Say it with me.
Fetishizing.
Yeah. Stop fetishizing. Stop fetishizing drugs. Like, because I was a fetishizer of drugs. Because they're great. Like, a lot of the times they're so much fun. And I honestly feel like I am getting older because, like, I just turned 25. And for the first time ever, I'm like, wait a minute. I don't need to do any of this anymore. Like,
So you did how many shrooms?
Okay, so I did 2 grams. Here's the story. I went away with some friends pretty recently, and we all had shrooms. We set aside a day to trip, and I usually do like 1.5. I'm super sensitive. That's not a lot in terms of shrooms. Like, I think like a normal dose, if you're like you would probably take 2.5 or something. Have you done shrooms?
Yeah, I did like an eighth, and then I walked to Times Square.
Well, how big? How many grams is an eighth? I don't even know.
Oh, 3.5.
Oh,
But like it.
it's like big.
But it was like over the course of a certain amount of time.
Right.
It wasn't overwhelming. Although Damien had a really bad trip with the same amount, because I left him. Yeah, tell your story.
Oh, well, okay. So I take 2 grams, and I've done shrooms a bunch. And usually, like, you take shrooms, it takes about an hour to start feeling like, ooh, like, we're coming up. 10 minutes, all of us are like,
whoa.
It starts feeling like we're on a roller coaster. And I was like, what is wrong with these? And I was nervous before, and I tested everything for fentanyl, and everyone was like, oh, there's never going to be fentanyl in shrooms or whatever. Yeah, and I was like, but you never know. Like, so maybe there's a creep with a dropper. Like, I always think about that scene from Good Time where he has the Sprite bottle of acid.
Oh, I hate that.
That's a terrible scene. And then they put it in that guy's mouth. And I was like, someone could just do that on anything. It's just, they haven't a Sprite bottle.
Yeah.
But, so I tested it for fentanyl, and there was no fentanyl in it, obviously. And so I was like, what could this possibly be? And I'm walking around trying to find an answer as I'm getting high. And my friend was like, oh, well, it was penis envy. And I was like, what? Like, shrooms have strains? I thought they were just shrooms. And he was like, no. Penis envy is double the potency. Oh. So I'm super sensitive. And I took a little bit more than I usually take, which is 2 grams. And now I've taken what is basically 4 grams of shrooms. And I'm starting to freak out. Sorry, I spit all over this. I'm starting to freak out. But, normally, like, in a shrooms trip also, like, the first hump that you get through is the anxiety, and then you have this incredible journey, and you're like, whoa, colors, and like learning about yourself and everything. So I thought I was getting over the anxiety, and we're like in a rural part, and so we take a little John Deere, or like, you know what those things are? Like, they're like farm cars, basically. It's not a real car, tractor type thing.
Sure.
Like whatever, equivalent of a golf cart for a farm. We take that down to a creek because we're going to go trip at the creek. And for the first hour and a half, I'm doing really good. Like, too good. I'm having all of these realizations about the universe and like this overwhelming sense of okayness. And I feel incredible, and like the sun is speaking to me, and it's like, you're gonna be okay no matter what happens in life.
Just
like,
staring at the sun.
I really was. And my friend and I walk down this creek for probably like a mile, and just having this incredible sensory experience. And then all of a sudden I'm like, okay, let's go lie down. And we're lying down like in rocks. And she goes, Rose, can I lie down next to you? And I was like, yeah, come here. And she lies down next to me, and all of a sudden the world just goes, and I get so scared. I jump up and I start hightailing it back, and she's like, Rose, are you okay? And I was like, no, I'm having a bad trip. And she goes, oh my God, me too. And everything that was beautiful is now disgusting.
Really?
Like, seeing all of the bugs, and they're like dead crawdads and skeletons, and the water doesn't smell good, and we're like trying to get back, but everything's getting darker, and we're both so anxious.
Oh.
Really bad. And I think the issue with it is that normally when you're panicking, you can calm yourself down and be like, oh, it's temporary, like mindfulness, it'll go away. But I think my because the come up was so good, I was having all of these realizations, and I was like, I could never go back to normal because I know all of the answers to these truths now.
Yeah,
so I'm
yeah.
going to be stuck like this. And I could not convince myself out that I wasn't stuck like that. Like, I was just like, this is the time that I like fucked my brain up and I did too much.
I know that.
Really bad. And then I ended up having like one of those ayahuasca purge type things. Like, you know how on an ayahuasca trip they give you like two buckets. One's like a shit bucket and one's a vomit bucket.
I did not know that.
Yeah. And when I had found that out, I was like, why would you ever want to do ayahuasca? But then there I am on all fours in like
a bucket?
A wheat field, no bucket. And I'm going, and I have nothing in me except like I had like a little bit of huevos rancheros for breakfast, and I throw up a single bean, and I was freaking out. I was like, no way. It was an undigested bean.
I feel like that would feel like spiritual. Like, what is this bean?
Yeah, I was like, a bean?
If you plant it, it'll like grow something magical.
I'm like crying and dry heaving and like so upset. And then I had one friend taking care of me because everyone else went back to the house because they were like doing fine. And my poor friend was having such a good trip and was just like, wow, the lights in the sky. And I'm like screaming for help.
Really?
I'm like trying to scream up to the house that's on the top of the hill where the car is. And I was like, bring the John Deere, help. But no one could hear us. And my friend was like, the only way to get up is to go up this hill. And the hill is like a vertical climb. So I like muster all my strength and I sprint up this hill and I get to the top and I go into the room that I was staying in and I was like, I have to fight for my fucking life right now.
Yeah.
And I'm in that room and I'm making a deal with the Lord or the universe. And I was like, if you get me out of this, okay, I will never do it again. I'll never do it again. And I was like, just try and sleep. But every time I closed my eyes, like I would get auditory like I was hearing hell. I was literally in hell. It was so scary. And then I was like, as soon as you leave this room, you're going to be okay. And I exit the room and I shut the door and I was like, I'm going to go play with my friends. I was so,
Really?
yeah, I was fine. It, like,
did it
turned off.
like? Did it felt good like for the days after you were okay?
It felt good the whole rest of that day. And then I went to the shower and showered alone. And then I had like this super dark thought. Like I realized I was still, because you're on the come down, you're like still tripping basically. Mm-hmm. And I'm alone in the shower and it was just like, I think the voice in my head was like, how does it know to feel that you're truly alone? And I was like,
damn.
I'm so scared. Yeah. So I've been recovering from that and I'm like not gonna fuck with that again.
Yeah.
It's like not to be fucked with. Yeah.
Yeah, shrooms are I don't know, I get anxious smoking weed, which I do every day still, and shrooms are like I just have no desire to keep doing them because I don't like the fear is not a good feeling.
No. When it's good, it's great.
Yeah.
When it's bad, I was like,
well, that's the thing.
Psych ward.
Some shrooms are like, it's weird like that, where it's like just the tiniest little cap can like make you have like a crazy trip. So it's like, that's what I don't like about it.
Right.
Penis envy. I thought you were gonna be like, yeah, I was mishearing him. Like, I don't even know, but it's just the name of the strand.
Yeah, it's the name of it. Super potent.
Salacious. Thanks for giving us that story.
My pleasure. I tried to give you.
So Rose, I gave you 2 gifts. What'd you bring me?
Oh, great question. I actually did bring you something.
No way. I was hoping you brought the bean that you threw up. It is a condom. Thank you.
Yeah.
Awesome. I will use that. I will definitely use that. I know I'll use that.
Are we still rolling?
Yeah.
Can I have it back?
Yeah. Here you go. No. Okay. I'll just right through there. What is your socials, Rose?
Hi, everyone. You can find me at Long Island Dirt _ because someone else took Long Island Dirt on every platform.
They took it on every platform.
Yeah. And on that note.
All right.
Keep your penis safe.
Please Clap. Jeb Bush is going to take us out here with his, yep. And